Hello folks, and welcome to a video I've been meaning to make, but I've been postponing it because I don't really care about this project anymore. This is a failed attempt by me at porting the Bully map to the source engine. Now this picture was actually taken in Gary's mod. It had this cool effect that I liked, and I was kinda too lazy to do anything in Photoshop, so I just used this instead as the menu background. Anyway, let's make a new game, I guess. And for those of you who don't know, I actually worked on a mod called Birds. So it basically copy-pastes all the files from Birds. So if you wanted to play Birds maps on this, you could. Not that you'd want to, they suck. Anyway, so this is the first and only map. Load faster, run, please. Come on, you can do it. Alright, we have a gun, a good start, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how, like... Oh, goddamn. Alright, first off, let me just go through some shit. I added some things you can enable in the stats, like the frame rate, in case you actually give a shit. You can disable and enable the HUD. You can do sandbox mode. Basically, this just takes you to this empty map with some weapons and enemies randomly spawned and stuff like that. Then console. Very self-explanatory. Let's enable cheats. Yeah. Alright, good. Now we can fly. Alright, so first off, might as well just explain this shit. What is this? Basically, how I spawn things in the map is that, like, I copy-paste them over here. These are basically, like, 10 statue heads. And then I select the statue head and browse whatever model I want to add. And then I select that and it gets placed, because basically how Bully's, map models work is that they're basically placed very oddly. They're not centered, so if you wanted to spawn them perfectly, you're gonna have to spawn them all over here, and then not move them, because they will move to that location themselves. It's kinda difficult to explain, but anyway, let's go through the map, which is the only thing people give a fuck about, right? Alright, first off, as you can tell, the map is very incomplete. It misses a lot of parts, and that's because, well, I never got to that. I only got this far before I got bored, so we might as well just show you what I did. Now, as you can tell, some of these buildings are kinda, iffy when it comes to the collision. That's because I decided to do the collision myself. Because when it comes to collision in the source engine, it's kinda finicky. It's never recommended that you use the default collision, unless you're talking about, like, physics objects, which are, objects with physics. This is also a cool thing I added. Water. Source water at the statue. Now, because, I suck, you can't actually, like, shoot it and have any effects, but you can swim around in it, if you want to. Yay. And also, it's buggy, so that's good. I don't know, I just kinda like it. I think it looks cool. If you disable the HUD and you just kind of look at it, that's kind of like a cool effect, Okay, so before we move on, I just remembered this thing I added. Let's just skim through the map and find it. There it is. Alright, so as you can tell, there's a bunch of citizens over there. And they are all hostile, because, I don't know, when I get bored of map testing, I like to just kill random NPCs. So I feel like this is a good way to do that. So let's just see. Alright, some of them are approaching me, I think. Oh no, indeed. Ah. Fuck you. I don't know if you can actually kill them with this. Maybe you can. Let me try. Stand still while I fucking demolish you. Okay, no, it doesn't do that. Alright, fuck this. As you can tell, it's very incomplete. I did not add a lot of stuff. The collision is really buggy and off. Because, like I said, I decided to do it myself, because when it comes to just letting objects be physical themselves, it can be very tricky. Like, if you go through door hallways and shit, that's gonna be practically impossible unless you somehow manage to do it perfectly in the modeling software, which I didn't do. Now, the thing that I found interesting is the fact that I can fit this whole fucking map into a source level. Now, whether or not I am able to fit all of the models without the game crashing due to overload, I don't know. But the fact that I can spawn all of these things at once and have the whole map loaded like this is actually kinda fucking cool. I think it just goes to show that you should never underestimate old engines like the Source engine. Even though they're really fucking old by now, probably by 10, 11, maybe even 12 years, the fact that everything just fits like this to me is pretty fucking cool. I mean, like, not a whole lot of games do this, really. They just kind of pop in models wherever the player is. And as you can tell, I didn't really do anything beyond this point at the map. That's because I was kind of insecure about whether or not the Source engine would be able to handle it. Because when it comes to the models, I did not expect them to be this many. It's like, probably in the thousands, I'd say. Maybe even like, you know, 2,000 models just for the school section of the map. Which to me is just insane. I had no idea that there was so many details in this map, but apparently that's the case. One thing that I probably think you noticed in the beginning of this video was the fact that the school rooftop has been added. I don't know, I mean, like, I feel like Rockstar really should have added this in the final version of the game, you know, Bully. But they decided to just despawn it, probably due to, like, memory limits of the PS2, but it still feels kind of like a shame, you know, like, they should have added that detail. I know it looks kind of odd from here, but I don't know, I kind of like it, you know, it just adds so much detail. Like, you don't often find yourself looking up towards this direction in the game, but when you do and you have this enabled, looks kind of nice. And as you can tell, the school has very little detail, like there's just a few windows on 2 of the sides of the building. You know, you kind of look at these textures and you're like, it's okay, I mean, like, it's a 2006 game. And then you look at this. What the fuck is this? Giant fucking awkwardly placed squares. Are these supposed to be rocks? They're fucking squares. What is this, Lego? It looks hideous. I don't get it. How can you have, like, I don't know, this doesn't look that good, but it's like decent at least. Like, it's fucking acceptable. But then when you look at this shit, this is not fucking background scenery. This is like promptly shit you see as soon as you go down this road. As soon as you go down this road, you're like, oh right, this is the one location Rockstar didn't give a fuck about. Right, let's go. I've probably insulted the people who made this map, but I don't know, you suck. And the reason for why everything is so fucking glowy is that this is my failed attempt at color correction in the Source engine. Like, I attempted to give it more of a colorful, glowy, kinda sunshiny effect, and in the end I just made it really fucking high contrast, so good job, fucking Sweg, you retard. Alright then. Instead of like rats in the library, they just have glitch in the library. It's just missing every fucking thing you need. All of the models are gone, Jimmy, find them. Imagine like this shit being the fucking Bully trailer, like, welcome to Bullworth Academy, and everyone's just like, it looks like shit. It's unfinished. I'm not gonna buy this. And then the game never gets released. This is the alternative ending of the Bully franchise. You know, the thing that interests me is the fact that there are like skid marks of cars. Like here. And in the final version of the game there are like no fucking cars. I mean, like, there are cars, but they're like old and rusty and broken down. So I don't really know, like, do you think these were meant for anything? Or do you think they were just like generic scenery with no purpose at all? It's at least indicative of the fact that, like, at least these locations were meant to be utilized for cars to some extent. Okay, so this is one issue that I never got to solve because I just never figured it out. So if you look at this fence, it looks ugly, but these are like the textures of the fence that Rockstar used, and I just wanted to use the same one just to, you know, capture that old school feel. So if you look at the fence, it looks meh, you know, it looks black. That's because the shadows are fucked, but the actual texture itself works. But if you go to this side, what is this? There's no fence. Oh no. But if you look around, it just has this texture. Like, I never figured this shit out. The texture is only applied to one side of the fence. The same applies to this fence. If you go to the other side... Oh wait, no, I did these manually. That's why they're so glitched too. Yeah. But if you look at this side of the fence, they're just missing. It's still solid and all. It's just that, like, the texture only shows up at one side. Random shit like this is exactly why I stopped working on this project. It's just because, like, as a one-man project for a man who's not even like a layman in terms of modding the Source engine, I mean that to me is too big of a fucking challenge for me to handle. So I just gave up on it. I was just like, okay, well, It's fun while it lasted, and then I gave up. But I have to say, like, I mean, the Source engine, say what you want about it, but it's stayed true to a lot of fans over the years. I mean, like, they've upgraded and fixed a lot of shit. I mean, like, it's probably just a result of Valve being lazy and being like, let's not make a new engine, but still, it's kind of interesting because the way that you can, like, keep alive something for so fucking long with people just still being excited about it, that to me is just mind-boggling. It's so cool. So when Valve still managed to somehow keep this engine alive, I mean, like, that to me, like, over a decade later, that to me is impressive. So I just have to tip my fucking invisible fedora to Valve. Gabe Newell, you are a meme and you are a fucking scholar, sir. If I just showed you like this screenshot, would you have any idea where this location on the map is? Like, would you know, really? I mean, like, you could guess, but would you know definitively, like, I know where this location is? Because to me, this looks fucking alien. This looks like almost like a beta part of the map, but if you back up a bit, oh, the girls' dorm, all along. That was completely pointless and meaningless, and I just wasted your time. You're welcome. Welcome to Bullworth. What the fuck happened? What? And that's about it. This is all I really have to offer. I did not really do anything else aside from this. I actually got in contact with some dude who was gonna work with me on this project, but it never went anywhere, and I kinda just gave up on it. So if you're sitting there like, when is the release date? Okay, here's the release date. Never. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Sadly, I have like no motivation or fucking incentive to work on this mod ever again. I mean, like, it was kind of fun when I did it, but it's such a big hassle. Maybe I could release this as some kind of mod for Gary's mod, like a map thing, when or if I finish it, which is probably gonna be never, but if, and just under the fucking grace of the word if I do complete this mod, then I will probably just upload this one part of the map. I mean, like, some people wanted me to make this video because they saw that I played Bully Source Engine on Steam. So, here you fucking go, 20 people who asked for this. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, then subscribe now for more bully content. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Bye, faggots. I'll be off fucking your mom. Oh, I don't know, that was shitty.